My name is Leo, and I have the world's most useless superpower. I can paint the face of anyone who dreams about me. Sounds romantic, right? It's not. It's actually pretty creepy when you think about it. Strangers see my face in their sleep, and I paint theirs on my walls, like some bizarre one-sided Facebook friendship where only I know we're connected. My studio is basically a gallery of people who've never met me. There's the old woman with the kind eyes who dreams I'm her grandson, the teenage boy who dreams I'm his favorite video game character, the exhausted new mother who dreams I'm a talking cat that helps her with feedings. I don't question the logistics anymore. I just paint. But last Tuesday morning, everything changed. I woke up with my usual hangover. 3 glasses of cheap wine and a philosophical debate with my houseplant, Gerald, about the meaning of existence. I stumbled into my studio, coffee in hand, and stopped dead. There was a new face on my wall. Nothing unusual about that. But this face was crying. The paint was still wet, tears streaming down the cheeks in perfect, heartbreaking detail. I stood there, coffee growing cold, watching this complete stranger sob silently on my wall. "Okay," I said to Gerald, "that's new." The face belonged to a man about my age, late 20s, with dark hair and the kind of cheekbones that should come with a warning label. Even through the tears, he was beautiful. Not the magazine cover kind of beautiful, but the kind that makes you want to write bad poetry and listen to sad music. I tried to forget about him. I really did. I painted a cheerful landscape. I did some still lifes of fruit. I even attempted a self-portrait, which turned out looking like a potato with anxiety. But every time I turned around, there he was, still crying. And the paint still wouldn't dry. By day 3, the tears had spread. His face was changing, cheeks hollowing, skin growing pale. He looked sick, dying even. "Gerald," I said nervously, "I think I've officially lost my mind." The plant didn't respond. Plants are terrible conversationalists. I did what any rational person would do. I Googled, "painting crying man won't dry." The results were predictably useless. Lots of articles about oil paint techniques, and one very concerning forum post about cursed art that I immediately closed. On day 5, the man's face was practically skeletal. The tears had created rivers that ran down my wall, pooling around the baseboards. I tried to wipe them away, but new ones appeared instantly. That's when I noticed something weird. The man's mouth was moving. Not much, just a slight twitch, like he was trying to speak. I pressed my ear against the wall. Crazy? Absolutely, but we're past that point. "Leo." I fell backward, knocking over my easel. He knew my name. I spent the next hour pacing my studio, trying not to panic. Gerald offered no comfort. Finally, I called my sister, Margot. "Hey, weird question," I said. "Do you know anyone who's in a coma?" "Leo, it's 7 a.m. on a Saturday." I know, but this is important." Margot is a nurse, which means she's used to her crazy artist brother calling her at odd hours. "Why do you need to know about coma patients?" "There's this face on my wall." "Of course there is. And he's crying, and he said my name, and I think he's dying." Silence. Then, "Send me a picture." I took a photo of the painting and sent it to her. She called back immediately. "Leo, that's not possible." "What isn't possible?" "That face. I recognize him. He's a patient at my hospital. He's been in a coma for 7 years." The world tilted. I grabbed onto Gerald for support. 7 years? Yes. His name is Elliot. He was in a car accident. His family moved him here about a year ago, hoping for better care. But he's been declining. The doctors don't think he'll make it much longer. I looked at the painting. Elliot's eyes were barely open now, the tears still flowing. Margot, he's dreaming of me. He's been dreaming of me for 7 years. That's not how comas work, Leo. Nothing about my life works normally. I paint people who dream about me. That's literally the only thing I can do. And this guy has been dreaming about me for 7 years? Look, even if that were true, he said my name, Margot. He said my name. She was quiet for a long moment.
What are you going to do?
The answer came to me like a punch to the chest. I'm going to paint him better. I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know if I was completely insane. But I sat down in front of that painting, mixed my colors, and started to paint. I painted the color back into his cheeks. I painted his eyes opening wider. I painted the tears slowing down. It's okay, I told him, brushing soft strokes across his face. You're going to be okay. I've got you. The paint began to dry, just a little around the edges. Can you hear me? I asked. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm Leo. I'm the guy you've been dreaming about, and I'm here. I painted his smile, just the hint of one, but it was there. His expression softened, the tears finally stopping. For the first time in a week, I slept through the night. The next morning, I called Margot. I need to see him. I need to see Elliot. Leo, visiting hours are strict. I'll sneak in. I'll dress like a doctor. I'll... Just come to the hospital. I'll figure something out. 3 hours later, I was standing outside Elliot's room, looking through the small window. He was just like the painting, pale, thin, connected to machines. But his face was peaceful. I pushed the door open and walked in. Hey, I said softly, pulling up a chair. I'm here. The guy from your dreams. The painter guy. His hand twitched, just a little. The heart monitor beeped slightly faster. Okay, that's either really good or really bad, I muttered. Let's go with good. I took his hand. It was warm, despite everything. His fingers curled around mine, just barely. I don't know how this works, I admitted. I don't know why you've been dreaming about me for 7 years. I'm just a guy with a weird talent who talks to his houseplant. I have no idea what I'm doing. His thumb moved against my palm. But I'm gonna stay, I promised. I'm gonna keep painting you. I'm gonna keep talking to you. And you're going to wake up. I painted every day. At home, I worked on the portrait, adding color and life to it. At the hospital, I sat with him, talking about everything and nothing. I told Gerald about you today, I said on day 3. He's very supportive. Plants are great listeners. On day 5, your painting is really coming along. You have excellent bone structure. It's annoying how good you look, even as a coma patient. On day 7, I Googled you. You were a graphic designer. You had a cat named Mochi. You liked terrible reality TV and really good coffee. We would have gotten along. The day I finally saw his eyes open, I was mid-sentence about why pineapple belongs on pizza. You're wrong, he whispered. His voice was like gravel, but it was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. Eli? That's me. He tried to smile. You talk a lot. You've been in a coma for 7 years and I'm the one who talks too much? You've been painting my face for 7 years. That's actually pretty romantic. I laughed. I laughed until I cried, and then I cried until I laughed again. His recovery was slow. 7 years of unconsciousness doesn't just go away. But I was there every day, bringing him the awful coffee he loved and telling him about all the new faces on my walls. "So I painted this woman yesterday," I told him, helping him sit up in bed. "She dreams I'm her yoga instructor. The painting is doing a very impressive downward dog."
You should teach a class, he said. Painting of the people who dream about the painting of the people who dream about you. It could be a thing. Shut up. Make me. I kissed him. It was clumsy and awkward, and he tasted like hospital food. But it was perfect. "You know," he said when we pulled apart, "I've been dreaming about that for 7 years. Just the kiss? Among other things." I blushed. "You're impossible." "You paint me. You're the impossible one." The painting finally dried 3 months later, on the day he was discharged from the hospital. Elliot stood in my studio, looking at his own face on the wall. "It's beautiful," he said. "It's you." "No, I mean," he gestured, "this is what I looked like when I was dying, and you brought me back." I shrugged, trying to look casual. "It's just paint." "It's not just paint." He pulled me close. "It's magic. Your magic." "Gerald thinks so too," I said, nodding at the plant. Elliot laughed. "I'm gonna be jealous of that plant." "You should be. He's been with me through everything." "Have you considered that you might be a little bit crazy? Constantly. It's part of my charm." He kissed me again, and I realized something. For 7 years, he'd been dreaming of me. And for all those years, I'd been painting strangers, never knowing why. Now I knew. I still paint, of course. New faces appear on my walls every week. But now I have Elliot to share them with. He sits in my studio, reading or working on his own art. And when a new face appears, we make up stories about them. "Her," I said one morning, pointing at a woman with wild hair. "She dreams I'm her dance partner in a salsa competition." "Definitely," Elliot agreed. "She's got the posture." And when he falls asleep in my studio, curled up on the old couch, I sometimes paint him. Not because anyone dreams of him anymore. He sleeps too peacefully for that. But because I want to remember every expression, every small smile, every moment. My walls are covered in strangers, but the most important face, the one that matters most, is right here with me. Happy ending? Absolutely. Because sometimes the people who dream of you are the ones you're meant to find. And sometimes, just sometimes, the paint does something magical. Even if you're just a guy with a weird talent and a houseplant who never listens. "You know," Elliot said one evening, looking at his painting on the wall, "we should get married." I nearly dropped my paintbrush. "What? Get married? You paint me, I dream about you. It's basically already a love story." That's the worst proposal I've ever heard. "Will you marry me, you chaotic disaster of a man?" I laughed. Yes, obviously yes. And the painting on the wall, the one that had cried and changed and refused to dry, finally smiled. I think it knew what I was just beginning to understand. Some faces aren't meant to be forgotten. Some faces are meant to stay.